And at the same time as the G7, an alternative summit taking place in northwest China. Beijing wants to enhance its strategy with Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, from building infrastructure to boosting trade, taking on a new leadership role in a region that has traditionally been a Russian sphere of influence. For more, let's speak to our correspondent, Yena Lee, standing by in Beijing. Hello to you, Yena. Is China playing in Russia's backyard, so to speak?
Well, these Central Asian countries are post-Soviet states, so Moscow is hardly going to be thrilled about the prospect of this open rapprochement between Central Asia and China. Russia is busy with the war it decided to wage on Ukraine, and it's left a void in the east that China is and has been filling. But that said, Moscow and Beijing still have a very good relationship, and this growing friendship between China and Central Asian states is nothing particularly new. In fact, China has been investing in this region for years now with its Belt and Road Initiative, also known as the New Silk Road. Back in 2013, President Xi Jinping actually launched this trillion-dollar infrastructure project in Kazakhstan. So President Xi's pet project, this Belt and Road Initiative, is a central part of the Xi'an summit that took place on Thursday and Friday in China. In his keynote speech on Friday, President Xi tried to draw parallels from the historic Silk Road to the modern-day economic potential in the region. He called for an increase in cross-border infrastructure projects and the completion of a gas pipeline. He also mentioned security and stability in Central Asia. Not only would unrest be bad for business, but Beijing also fears that unrest could spill over into its northwestern province of Xinjiang.
Yeah, so economy, security, high on the agenda. How important is this Central Asian region to China?
It's clearly a priority for Beijing. 4 out of the 5 countries that were present in Xi'an are actually members of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is a political, economic, security bloc led by China and Russia that some call an anti-NATO bloc. Tellingly, President Xi Jinping's first overseas trip after the pandemic was to Kazakhstan and to Uzbekistan. It explains why Beijing is calling this Xi'an event both a landmark summit and its first major diplomatic activity this year. Judging by how busy Chinese diplomats have been since China's reopening, calling this one the most important one so far this year is really rather quite remarkable. The organizers of the event rolled out meters and meters, potentially kilometers of red carpet for the leaders of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. They had this grandiose Tang Dynasty themed opening ceremony, and Chinese state media has been providing around-the-clock coverage of this as well. And one of the big announcements that came out this Friday was that this summit is to be the first of many. Leaders have decided that they want this to take place every 2 years, so the next one is scheduled for 2025 in Kazakhstan.
All right, Yena, thank you very much. Yena Lee reporting from Beijing.